Welcome to the Insurance 101 call. This is the call where you're going to learn basic insurance training on how to sell life insurance. If you're not at 20,000 annual premium per month, you should be on this call. If you're doing more than 20,000 per month, you should definitely be on this call because you're going to grab a ton of nuggets to help you get better and learn how to grow even more. So tonight's call is about referrals. And I wanted to bring on a good buddy of mine, Jacob Poulin. This guy has been in the business less than 3 months. 2.5 months he's been in the business. And he's gone from zero, not selling life insurance ever in his life, all the way to $55,000 in annual premium that he has sold so far. And he's just killing it. So I wanted to bring him on and just kind of pick his brain a little bit and kind of go from there. All right. Can you hear me, Jacob?
I can hear you, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for coming on with us.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure.
Awesome. So why don't we do this? Why don't we start off, Jacob, with you kind of telling your backstory, where you're from, where you're located, what you did before FFL, and what got you into insurance.
All right. Absolutely. Yeah, my name is Jacob Poulin. I've been married almost 10 years. I got 3 little kids, 2 girls and a boy. And I actually own a transport company, and I got that established. And we've been doing really well with that. I got that to a point to where somebody's running it for me. I don't have to do much on that. So I decided, man, I'm going to jump into this and I'm going to see what I can do. Wanted to make a little more money, had a lot of extra free time on my hands. And I just decided, let's jump into this. And, I'm also a youth pastor, so I don't have too much free time, but, I do have some. So I thought, man, let's do something to make a little more money, something to help my family out, something to give me more options to give and help other people out. So it's pretty much why I got into it there, man. I love helping people. It's in my blood to help people. So
awesome. So I know this is kind of like a helping business, but why life insurance? Why not health insurance or another insurance product? Why did you pick life insurance?
Well, I'll tell you why I picked it, man. Me being in the ministry, I have to do a lot of counseling, not only with young people, but I have to do a lot of counseling with older people as well, especially those that have lost loved ones. And I have seen way too many people leaned over a casket crying over their lost loved one. And not only that, worried about how in the world they're going to pay for a funeral, how in the world they're going to keep going with their husband. He just passed away. How in the world are they going to make a living now? And that really ate on me. And thought, man, I want to do something to be able to try to help people not have to go through that. I want to give them options. I want to give them some way out. And just created in me a desire to jump into life insurance.
Awesome. Well, you're doing awesome, man. I mean, from zero to what, 55,000 in annual premium in 2.5 months. What was it? When did you write your first policy?
I think I wrote my first one August 25th, I think, and I actually just got another $3,400 one about 15 minutes ago, right before we started. So we're at 58.4 now.
All right, and counting, right?
58.4, yes, sir.
And you write primarily with Americo, right?
Yep, I've only wrote one Mutual of Omaha. Everything else has been Americo.
Okay. Well, lucky for you, you're finding a lot of people that are qualified to write with Americo. So you got an Americo bonus coming.
Yep, Americo bonus coming.
Awesome.
I'm excited about that. Yeah.
No, I'll bet you're just feeding that and building it up so you can make that bonus bigger. Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. How are you finding all of your clients?
What works best for me, I do buy leads, I do some lead calling, but what I found works best for me is when I do sign a successful policy and I'm on the phone or in person with somebody, I will begin to talk to them and try to build a relationship with them and allow them to talk to me, and I will tell them, hey, listen, I know there's somebody that you know that needs life insurance, and I really throw the referral game at them. I offer incentives at times. I take them out to dinner, or sometimes I say, man, if you'll get a successful referral, I'll get you $50 gift card, and it's really worked good for me. It's helped me be as successful as I am.
So just to kind of put this in perspective for everybody that's on here, how much have you spent in leads?
In leads, I've spent about 3,000.
About 3,000.
Yeah,
Okay.
3,000 in leads off of LC there.
The ILC?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me grab my little handy dandy calculator here. And you're at 58,000 in annual premium.
Yes, sir.
So we take that 3,000, divide that by 58,000. That means that about 95% of your business is coming from referrals.
Right.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay. So what you're saying to them, what you're doing with them is just basically letting them know, hey, if I did a good job for you today, reach out and have them reach out to me. Are you putting them in
Yeah.
a text thread, or are
Yeah,
you
I'm
email?
I'm putting some of them in a text thread. Some people I've texted them, a week, 2 weeks after, and I said, hey, just letting you know that if you'll get me some referrals, I'll send you over a gift card. I'll take you to dinner if they're local enough. I'll take you to dinner, and a lot of times I get a text back that says, yeah, I did say something to my uncle. Here's his number, and it's worked really good for me.
Okay, so you're following up a little bit later as well, and just saying, hey, I'll throw you a gift card if you can, if you know somebody that needs some life insurance.
Yeah, since I've sold 4 policies today. I've helped families today, and 3 out of the 4 families today were referrals.
Okay, awesome. That's fantastic, man. So eventually we're going to get into, what you say and how you say it, right? Because on this call we do role play. So we're
Yeah.
going to get into that a little bit later. But are you running telesales, or are you doing in-homes primarily, Jacob?
On some of my referrals, I do telesales. I talk to them over the phone. But if they're anywhere local where I can drive, I prefer face to face. So
Okay.
I'll get to them.
Okay. So, and some of your referrals have been people from church. Am I right about that?
Yeah, yeah, a lot of them. I have a lot of contacts. I've been youth pastor in actually 3 different churches, so I have a lot of contacts in Oklahoma and especially Texas and some of these Arkansas, Kansas. Have a lot of contacts. I've preached at a lot of different places. So if what I'm finding out most of the time is I'll get somebody from a specific church and they go back and then they'll start working on the people in their congregation, and they'll start calling me, and I get quite a bit of referrals that way.
Okay. Okay. So tell us, how do you bring that up to them? Because obviously they've known you for a long time, but you just got into life insurance, right? You have to introduce the fact that you're a life insurance agent somehow, some way. So how does that conversation go?
Yeah, a lot of times, whether sometimes I see them in person and I say it, but a lot of times I'm actually just sending out messages, text messages, making phone calls, letting them know, hey, I have started selling life insurance. I'm an independent broker. I have access to multiple different companies. I would love to try to help you out. If you need some coverage, please respond back to me. Let me know. And because of my relationship with these people, most of them are responding back to me. Most of them are shooting me a text back. Yeah, I need some, or some, or no, I don't, but I know somebody who does. And once I get that first connection, I start working their family and their connections, and I let them know, you know, I will I'll do something for you for every positive referral that I get, every successful referral. You know, I don't give them anything if they just refer somebody, and you know, it's a no go. But every successful referral that they give me, I will compensate them in some way.
That's fantastic, man. So I mean, it doesn't sound like it's that hard to do, right? I mean, all
No,
you're
it's
doing is just reaching out. If you kind of get the gist of it, guys, he's acting on purpose with his friends and family. He's not just saying, hey, if you know somebody that knows life insurance, he's actually going above and beyond and texting everybody in his phone, everybody that he knows, people that he knows, telling them what he does. He's just putting himself out there, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Do you use any social media?
I
Facebook,
do. I
Instagram?
do some social media, not really much of anything. I actually just post, like, sometimes if I'm ever on that leaderboard page, sometimes I just, I screenshot that, share that. I share it off of your page there, and I've got people calling me off of that. But mainly, man, I'll get in. I'll get my foot in the door with one single individual, and I'll sell them a policy, and they'll be happy. And then now I've done that, with quite a few different families. So I'm still working every single family.
Yeah.
And it's just trickling down. They're talking to somebody else, and then I signed another policy with them, and now they're talking to somebody else, and they're it's really been working good for me, and they've, especially this week, they've been pouring in pretty good this week.
Wow. That's fantastic. I keep saying that. But I don't know what else to say. I mean, that's great. I mean, it's fantastic, right? But if you think about it, guys, if we're buying leads, if he's paying everybody even $100 that for a solid referral, that's a lot cheaper than buying leads, right?
Right.
And let me ask you this: how many chargebacks have you gotten so far out of the 58,000 that you've sold in annual premium?
I've got right at approximately $0.00 in chargebacks.
$0.00 in chargebacks. Why do you think that is?
I've tried to develop a personal relationship with each and every one of them, and I try to make sure I don't sell anything to any of them, that they can't afford, or push them or pressure them. If I feel like I'm doing that, I'll back out, because I don't want those chargebacks, and I know they don't either. They don't want to have to call me and tell me that they can't do this anymore. So
Yeah.
I've had zero chargebacks. I think that's because,
Yeah.
one,
Right.
I know they need it. They need it, and they know they need it, and I've helped them. Yeah, I've helped them to be able to realize that they need it.
So when you sit down with them or you talk to them over the phone, if they feel like you're being a little bit too pushy and you feel like they're kind of pulling back, you just kind of back up and you're like, okay, no, that's okay. We don't have to do this. So you're kind of
Yeah,
taking it away from them.
yeah, yeah.
And then
That's
what?
exactly what I do.
Yeah. Okay. And then what happens is they stop and they say, wait a minute, I want that.
Yeah.
And then
It may be it may be a lower monthly a payment, or drop their face amount down a little bit, but I'll pull back and then allow them to come in and tell me, okay, I can't do that, but I can do this.
okay. Okay. And that's what eliminates the chargebacks, right? If you become their
Yeah,
friend, I know if I wanted to go to a car dealership and buy a car, I would actually rather buy a brand new car from a friend of mine that, or a person that wasn't even my friend, that was referred to me by my friend. I would rather
yeah,
buy a car from that person than go to a dealership and buy it from a salesman that I don't even know,
yeah,
right? So, I mean, by you becoming that friend of a friend of a friend, that person, that guy, I got a guy, right? Everybody's got a guy. If
yeah,
you're that guy, you're the go-to guy for life insurance, right? And if you're just plugging your name around everywhere, you're going to be the go-to guy for everyone, right?
yeah. I actually just about 45 minutes ago, I just got up. I bought a couple dinner tonight, and they're actually the ones that they bought that CBO American CBO 100 policy. Um, right before we left, I looked at the man's wife and I said, "Christmas money." I said, "We all like Christmas money." I said, "I'll pay you up to $100 for every successful policy that you refer to me. If I write it, it's successful. You referred it, I'll send you a cash app for it." And she was like ecstatic. She was like, "I'm fixing to send you so many people." She was like, "Christmas." She's got 5 kids, so she's like, "Christmas money. I love Christmas money, and that's just something I can do extra." I'm more than willing to pay somebody $100 for a referral and get 1,500, 2,000. That one was $3,400 annual premium, so I'm more than
Awesome.
willing to give $100 for that.
Heck yeah, who wouldn't? If I told you you stick $100 in the cash machine, I'm going to give you out $3,400. I'd be
Yeah,
sticking in $100 bills all day long, right?
every day. Yeah,
Here's a tax tip. If you get gift cards, if you buy gift cards, keep the receipt. You can write them off on taxes.
right. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. That's a good
and then
idea.
give the gift cards to whoever you need to give them to, right?
Yeah,
And you can call it marketing,
yeah,
right? You're marketing for business.
absolutely.
Tax tip. So cool. Awesome. Awesome. So, how about this, Jacob? Let's do this. I'm going to open it up real quick, just for about 5 minutes, and see if anybody here has any questions for you. And then what we'll do is we'll get into role play. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, guys. Put your hand up if you got a question for Jacob.
Jacob, you got a paper and pen handy?
Uh, yeah, go ahead, bro.
Let me give you my America writing ID number so you can add me on there.
That's not a question. That's not a question. Okay, who has a question? A real question.
What Kelly in Colorado, here in Colorado, we're only allowed to give up to like $25.
Now, the state of Oklahoma, from what I've studied when I took my test, the state of Oklahoma allows you to do up to $100.
Interesting. Okay.
For a referral fee, but it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a referral fee. It's all
Yeah, it's
it could be a gift.
a gift card. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I love you. God bless you.
Yeah, exactly.
I know all about those, man. I've been in the ministry. I've been a minister for 14 years, so I know all about those. God bless you, and I love you handshakes.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go. Love it. Okay, let's do this. Anybody else have any other questions? Ryan, you got a question? Go ahead, unmute.
Yeah. Hey, Jacob. Thanks for your time tonight, man.
Yes, sir.
So being brand new and just getting started, what would you say would be the single most, I guess, quickest word of advice to the brand new guy who hasn't made his first call yet, that you would say back to yourself getting started? Was it really just tapping into your circle of influence, and that was what it was for you, or was it a certain lead type or a certain approach? Just maybe that piece of advice.
Yeah, man. I think the most important thing for me, if I was to do it all over again, I think the first thing I would start with would be the exact same thing that I did start with. I would go straight to my ones that I'm closest with, the ones that I know, the ones that I have a relationship with, the ones that I know need help, the ones that I know need coverage, and I'll start with them, and then I'll work my way out. It's like kind of like a rippling effect now. Um, I've started to be able to help quite a few people, so now I got referrals coming in from all over the place. But yeah, I think that inner circle, the people you're closest with, um, the ones that really love you, the ones that really care about you, want you to be successful, they're going to tell people about you as well. And that really helped me. I think was reaching out and reaching into my inner circle of people and saying, "Hey, this is my new endeavor. Can you help me?" And that's what they did. They showed up for me.
Awesome. Awesome. One thing that you can do when you do yearly check-ins and yearly or 6-month check-ins with them, right? Call them up and, verify their information, verify their beneficiary is the same, ask them if they need to change any information. Then what you can do is bring up the IUL, right? And so kids from 15 days old can get IULs, and they can use that to supplement their tax-free retirement income when they retire, but also they can use that to pull money out of it for them to go to college. They get all the living benefits. They also get tax-free retirement. I mean, there's tons of benefits from the IUL. So it gives you another step in to help them with that, right?
Absolutely.
Grandma, go ahead, Jacob.
It's funny that you said that. That guy that I sold the policy to tonight, he's got 5 kids, and he looked at me and I said something. We were talking about that today on the phone. I said something to him about them IULs, and he said, "I want one for all 5 of my kids." He said, figure it out, study it up. He said, "I want one for all 5 of my kids."
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you're doing something right, Jacob. Let's do this. Let's get into some role play here, and then we'll go from there. Okay. How about this? Do you want to? I'll be the client and you be the agent, Jacob.
All right.
All right. And then you can just go right through the whole process. You can pretend it's like a one call close.
One call close.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, is this Sean?
Yeah, this is Sean. Who's this?
Hey, Sean. This is Jacob with First Family Life. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Good deal, man. It's good to hear from you. I was reaching out to you because I have some information here that says you're looking for some life insurance coverage. I'd love to help you out, man. What are you looking for?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Well, you still live at so and so address
I do.
in Oklahoma City?
I do.
Well, I got some of your information here that says you were looking for some final expense coverage, man. You looking for some coverage? I'd really love to help you out. Maybe maybe you done it, you forgot. Maybe your wife filled it out for you.
Might have been. My wife probably filled it out.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. If you're looking for some coverage, I can definitely help you out. We got a lot of different policies. I'm a independent insurance broker. I would love to talk about it with you. If you got a little bit of free time, man, we can set up an appointment. I can come over to where you're at and we can get this thing done.
Okay. Sure.
All right, man. How about 3:00 today? Would that work for you?
Can we just do it right now?
Yeah, we can do it right now. You want to do it right now?
Sure.
All right, man. How old are you?
48.
48 years old. All right. You got any health issues?
I have asthma.
Have asthma? What about any kind of diabetes? Ever had a heart attack, stroke, anything like that?
No, nothing like that.
Healthy guy. Good deal. I sell a lot of these policies. About 95% of what I sell is with a company called Americo. They've been around since 1946. If you just have asthma, otherwise you're pretty healthy, man. There's a policy called the CBO 100, and I think you would really love it. You want to talk about that?
How much does it cost?
Well, we can get to that, man. I can promise you one thing. I can find something to fit your budget.
Okay.
All right. There's a CBO 100 policy, and it's we can actually do it in 10, 15, 20, 25, 30-year term policies.
Okay.
But one of the greatest things about this policy, man, is let's just say you had $100,000 life insurance policy, and that was your face amount. And say you was to die of natural causes, it would pay out $100,000 to your beneficiary. But if you was to have an accident, man, I tell you what's cool about this is that payout doubles. It's it's double accidental. And not only that, it's loaded with living benefits. You know, you was to have a heart attack, stroke, liver disease, kidney failure, anything like that, man, you can actually access up to 100% of that policy. You can access it. So you know, it's loaded with that, loaded with disability options, man. It's just an awesome policy. But one of the greatest things about this is if you don't use that policy, you don't die, you don't have an accident, you don't pull any out for cancer or anything like that, anything out of the living benefits, you can actually get up to 100% of your monthly premium back. You can get it all back, man. They'll write you a lump sum check. Every dollar that you put in, they'll give it back to you. Does that sound
So
like something you'd be interested in?
if I apply for 100,000 and I outlive the policy, I get 100,000 back.
No, you won't get 100,000 back. What say your monthly payment was $100, so your yearly payment is 12, 1,200. What you're going to get back is 36,000 in a lump sum check after your 30-year policy is up.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, man, I sell the majority of all the policies I sell is that one, man. I tell you what, I just so you know, I ain't feeding you some story. I have this policy myself. That's how much I believe in this policy. I have it. I have it on me. I have it on my wife. I actually have it on my employees. I love this policy. It's a wonderful policy. I believe in it, and I think that it would do great for you, my friend.
How do you know I qualify for it?
Well, if you only have asthma, like you say, are you on any kind of medications?
I have I have asthma and high blood pressure, and I'm on albuterol. I'm on Ventolin, and I'm on high blood pressure too. High blood pressure medicine, metoprolol.
Okay. How many pills do you take for high blood pressure?
How many do I need to take?
How many do you take, man? We're all about the truth around here.
Okay. Well, I just take about 30 per month.
30 per month, about one a day.
Yeah.
Okay. We can start a e-application, man. We can go through this and see if we can get you covered. From what you've told me, I believe that we can get you approved. If not, and something happens, worst case scenario, and I can't get you approved, I told you when I first started, I have a lot of different companies that I have access to. I have a lot of different friends that know a lot about life insurance. We can get you fixed up. We can get you taken care of. We can find something in your budget. Um, if you're willing to start filling out an application, man, we can do that for you.
Okay. How can I think about it?
You can think about it, man. You can absolutely think about it. I'll tell you what. I don't want to put any pressure on you, but what we offer here is we offer and it actually ends today, but we offer a $75 gift card that we'll mail out to you. It's a Visa card. We'll mail it out to you. If you fill out a policy today and you're approved, we can get that mailed out to you and get that promotion right to you, buddy.
Okay. Okay.
You can take that $75 Visa gift card and take your wife out to dinner, man. You know she'd like that, especially around Christmas time. Tell her, hey, I just got some life insurance you're going to be taken care of if something happens to me. And they actually paid for this dinner too. I'm telling you, that gets you some brownie points.
Okay. But what if I don't get approved? Then I don't get the gift card.
No, you wouldn't get the gift card. It's only on approval. But like I said, man, I think I can get you approved.
Okay. All right. Let's fill out the card. Let's fill out the app.
Let's do it, man. That's normally most of the time, if I ever get them to fill out an application, we're every time I've got them to fill out an application, I've closed them.
So what if I say, how much is it going to be?
Let's look here. I think you said you never run the quote sheet. You always go straight into the app, but I always start at the quote sheet.
Yeah, with Americo, I always run the app
Yeah.
because I want to get past the MIB first, because the MIB will tell me if they get approved or not, right?
Right.
I've had a lot of people that I think are going to get approved, and buyers can be liars.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they'll tell you, well, I'm squeaky clean. I'm only on one medicine and it's a vitamin. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you run the MIB and they don't get approved. Or they get past the MIB and then they don't get approved at the end, right? And you're like, okay, what prescriptions are you taking? Because otherwise you should have got approved. Right. So that's kind of why I go through past the MIB first, and then I'll ask the health questions. Then I go back to the pricing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for sure. That's something that I need to do better on there. Most of the time I start at the quote sheet. I start at their age. I work up a quote and tell them, hey, listen, man, I can do all this. I can get you covered. It's going to be $110 a month. You're going to have all these living benefits. You want to start an application? And if they say, yeah, I said, all right, let's see if we can get you covered, man. Let's get this taken care of.
Okay. So obviously, guys, he's and that just goes to prove the point. He doesn't do it the same way I do it. He doesn't do it the same way Dan does it. He doesn't do it the same way Hytham does it. He does it his own way. And he's selling and helping a lot of families through life insurance, right? So another tip that I wanted to kind of bring up for you, Jacob, is that a lot of times with Americo, I mean, once you get past the MIB, and this is another reason why I do it this way. Once I get past the MIB and I know that they're gonna fly with, flying colors, then what I can do is give them 3 options. But I give them 3 options based off of the product, not the price, but based off of the death benefit, like mortgage, right? What's the purpose of them wanting to buy the insurance, right? Is it just for a death benefit, or is it to cover a mortgage, right? Because somebody may say, well, I want 100,000. Why do you want 100,000? Well, because I want to leave some behind to my kids. Why do you want to leave some behind to the kids? Well, I just want to leave a gift. Well, what are you going to do with the house? How much do you own the house? I owe 250,000. Okay, so if you die, who's going to pay the house payment? Well, I never thought about that, right? So now they got a $250,000 mortgage. They're asking for 100,000 because they think that's enough, right? But us as agents and brokers, it's our job to figure out what the pain is, what the problem is, and help them out, help them solve that problem. Well, if they have a mortgage for 250,000, I'm going to show them a death benefit of 250. And then when I get down past the MIB and I'm going through the options, I'm going to show them a continuation 25. I'm going to show them a CBO 100, and I'm going to show them a term 125. So I go over all the benefits of the policy, all the living benefits, and I ask them, do you have any questions? No? Okay, I'm going to give you 3 options. Okay, the first option is going to be a continuation 25. That's a permanent policy. That's a term policy. And then once that term ends in 30 years, you're 48, so you're going to be 78. Most people are out of insurance, but you're not. It's going to go from 250,000 down to 25%, whatever that number is, 62,500. It's going to go down to 25% of the 250,000, and now it turns into a whole life policy for the rest of your life. Now, why is that a benefit? Because if you ran out of insurance at 78 years old and you went to go apply for new insurance at 78 years old, is it going to be cheaper than it is now or more expensive?
Yeah.
It's going to be more expensive, right? But you're going to be paying as if you were 48 years old when you're 78 years old. That's a continuation 25. So then I give them a price. I'll say that one is going to be $348. Then I'll say, okay, the next option, write this down, CBO 100. CBO 100 is the term policy, has all the same benefits that I just went over with you, but at the end of it, it ends and you don't have any more coverage. But guess what? You get all your money back. So if you die, it pays out. You get hurt, it pays out. You get sick, it pays out. You become terminally ill, it pays out. And when you outlive the policy, it pays you all your money back. And when people get all their money back for something that they've already used, what do you call that? Free.
Yeah.
Right? And then the third option is called a term 125. That term 125 is going to be the cheapest option because it has all the same benefits, but at the end of the policy, it ends and you don't get all of your money back. It just ends. So at the end of it, if you outlive the policy, you've kind of just wasted your money. That's why it's the cheapest. Now, hint, hint, I just told them, don't buy that policy, right? Because I said, waste your money.
Yeah.
Right? So now I'm kind of pushing towards the CBO or the continuation 25. And then here's how I close it. I say, okay, I don't want to get you all excited about this policy or either one of these policies because we don't even know if you got approved yet. The only thing we have left to do is to submit the rest of the request to see if we can even get you approved. So if we were to get you approved, which one of those would you choose today? Well, I'd pick the continuation 25. Okay, perfect. That's the one I would pick too.
Yeah.
I always pick the one that they pick for some reason. I don't know why. But that's kind of how I do it. And then I give them a choice because sometimes people want the permanent coverage and sometimes people want the CBO where they get the money back. And I found it to be about 50-50. And so I used to think that everybody just wants their money back. But rather it is that sometimes people want permanent coverage to where they don't ever want to have to deal with this or apply again. You know, and the continuation 25 also pays the agent more than a CBO.
Yeah.
So just wanted to throw that out there to you. Great job, man. You're doing fantastic.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, I'm gonna.
Did you have a question, Hytham?
I did. Would you, like when you're presenting, before you present to the client, do you let them know, hey, well, you can go with I have CBO or continuation 25 or term 100? Do you give them that option or do you decide yourself like which way you want to go?
Well, that's what I was saying is when I'm in a term product with Americo, I'm going to give them the three options.
So you do give them the three options. Okay.
Yep. And I let them pick. So I go over all the living benefits of the policy because they all have the same living benefits.
Gotcha.
And then I end it right there and I say, do you have any questions whatsoever? And they're like, nope. And I'll say, okay, I'm going to give you three options here. And then I start with the continuation 25. I give them that price. And then I give them a CBO 100. I explain it. I give them that price. And then I go do a term 125. I explain it and I give them that price. And then I close them. And I say, I don't want to get you all excited. I'm taking it away, right?
Yeah.
Taking it away. Because when you take something away, they're going to come back and they want it. It's like the cat and the string. You pull the string, the cat wants it. As soon as you stop the string, the cat don't want it anymore. Right? So I take it away. Well, I don't want to get you all excited yet because I don't know if you've been approved. The only thing we have left to do is just to submit the rest of the requests and see if you can get approved. But if we were to get approved, future event, which one would you want to get approved for? And then they pick.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Were you going to say something, Jacob?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, role playing with you as the client is more nerve wracking than anybody I've ever called. So
Yeah, that's because everybody's watching.
pressure, man.
Yeah.
Pressure is a Hall of Famer. The real Sean Simpson right there, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of why we do this, right? Is because there's no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone, right? And we're all just having fun on here, and we're all just trying to get a little bit better and push ourselves a little bit closer to that thing right there, right? So, and that's all we're doing. And if you can get past me, you can definitely get past those guys out there, right? So, what time is it? Okay, we got some time left. Who else wants to do a role play?
Now, Sean, I'm still trying to figure out the first minute, the first 30 seconds.
Of the phone call, Kelly?
Yeah, just outbound dials. Outbound dials.
Okay. So you mean like setting the appointment or just when they first pick up the phone?
When they first pick up the phone.
So really, I mean, it can be anything. Obviously, you want to tweak it to something that works really well for you. And in order to find that out, you have to do things over and over and over again until you figure out that, yeah, that works for me. So I'm going to keep using it. So what I do is I don't tell anybody that you filled out a form. I don't use the word you. Okay. Because when you use the word you, you're putting people on the spot and they think that, sometimes they're going to be like, I didn't fill out a form, and they'll lie straight to your face. Right. So for me, if I'm calling a final expense client, I'm going to say, hey, Kelly.
Hello.
Hey, Kelly.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Sean. I'm just giving you a call back regarding that form that was filled out online. This is in regards to the final expense and burial programs that are going on statewide right now. And I put some space there, right? If you're rushing and just trying to keep on going, now they're going to feel a little bit anxious and they're going to be like, click, right? But if you put some space in between there, calm down a little bit, like you're just seriously calling to help them, they're going to feel that and they're going to want to respond to you, right? So I'll say it again. Hey, Kelly.
This is Kelly. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Sean. I'm just giving you a call back regarding that form that was filled out. This is in regards to the final expense and burial programs that are going on statewide right now. They just want us to go over the options with you. I don't have time to do it right now. I'm kind of in between calls here, but I just want to verify some information and set a time for you and us to get together for me to go over the options. I got your date of birth as 9/16/1922. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I should be dead by now, but that sounds about right.
Okay, perfect. So are you married, single, divorced, or widowed?
I'm widowed.
Widowed? Okay, I'm sorry to hear about that. So I don't have too much time today. What time are you working or are you retired?
Well, if I was born in 22, I should be retired by now.
Okay. Yeah, the reason why I ask is because I had an 83-year-old guy the other day tell me that he's still working. So I got thrown under the bus there. So I always ask now. Okay, perfect. Let me see what I got going on tomorrow. Ooh, looks like I got a pretty full schedule. I can squeeze you in at 10:30, or I can squeeze you in. I got a 1 o'clock. Which one of those best fits you?
Probably 1 o'clock, since I stay up until about 2 and watch TV.
Okay, perfect. Do me a favor, grab a pen. By law, I need to give you my license number.
Gotcha. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Sean Simpson. My license number is 123-456-789. And then since you got your pen there, write down the appointment time is at 1 o'clock. And then right next to it, write down important. Okay. And then Kelly, I need to ask you a favor here. If you could have a pen and paper handy at the time of our appointment, that would be fantastic, because I'm going to give you some important information that you're definitely going to want to write down. And then I need to ask you a favor. I may be running just a tad bit late. Can you give me about a 15 to 30-minute window on both sides of that appointment?
I'm not going anywhere.
Perfect. Well, I look forward to speaking with you and meeting you over the phone. You have a great day, okay?
Likewise, appreciate it. I'll
All
talk
right.
to you.
So now, why did I tell them to have a pen and paper handy?
Well, because you're kind of setting the stage a little bit. It's like you're telling the individual that, yeah, they got to take notes. It's important.
Yeah. So if I tell somebody to have a pen and paper handy, are they going to be standing up, writing on a pen and paper in their hand?
Not unless they're outside cutting on the wood or something, but someone that's 85 is not going to be outside.
Most people that grab a pen, grab a paper,
Uh-huh.
They're going to sit down at a table so they got something to write on. Right? So now I just told that person without telling them to sit down. I just basically told them to sit down by just telling them to grab a pen and paper. And here's how I made it important to them, not me, to them. I told them that I'm going to go over some important information. Now it's important that you're definitely going to want to write down. That you're definitely going to want to write down. Right?
And
Ryan,
so that kind of, brings up the fact it's like, well, what in the world is he going to tell me that I need to write down?
Exactly. And that's what I want them to think.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly. Now, when I also set the appointment, I made them write down the information, right? Because if we have them write down my name, the appointment time, and write down important right next to it, I don't care if they throw the paper away. But by writing something down, your brain slows down to help you remember it. That's why we write down our goals, right? Is so that it sinks into our brain. That's why we write them down every day. We write down our goals. We look at our goals. We write them down and then change them a little bit. But we're always writing them down because it sinks into our brain better. And all of a sudden, now it becomes us. That goal becomes our drive. Right? Well, it's the same way when you write down an appointment. That appointment now gets engraved into our memory because our brain has to actually, we could talk and think a lot faster than we can write down. So by writing something down, you're slowing down your brain at a different speed to engrave it, create a new neural pathway for that memory to take place. So then they remember the appointment better. Right? Mm-hmm. Ryan, did you have a question?
Yeah, so I was curious, this is an appointment setting approach. Are you doing that because that's the best approach for a sales close or because you're purely because of your schedule? Or do you ever offer the appointment, or if you have time now, we can get started? Like the approach that you're taking, is that purely based on your schedule and actually being able to have the time? Or do you suggest the one call close versus the appointment set?
That's a great question. So it depends on what you really want. There's some people that just like to just call and call and call and do one call closes, right? And if they're not available at that time, they'll clear their schedule, meaning, what time do you get home from work? And they'll find out they get home at 5:00. What time does your wife get home from work? Well, she gets home at 6:00. Okay. Well, I'm pretty booked up at that time. I don't think I'll be able to squeeze you in today or tomorrow, but I will give you a call here in the next few days. That's a person that likes to do only one call closes. Then what's going to happen is the next day or 2 days later, they're going to know, okay, both of them are going to be home by 6:00. So I can call anytime after 6:00 and get and do a one call close, right? The other option is set appointments, knowing that, 50% of them, a percentage of them is going to do a no-show, right? So if you go and focus your brain on just calling and setting appointments, you don't have to worry about the presentation. On a one-call close, you got to do it all, right? But on setting an appointments, that's all you have to focus on is setting appointments. And usually I set my appointments for the evening and then the next day. Now, as a new person, I would recommend that you take the whole day to set appointments for the next day. And if anybody can't make the next day, put it into the second day after that, okay? The goal is to get 10 appointments per day, 10 appointments per day. And if you're counting Saturdays, that's 60 appointments a week. You do 50% no-show, that's still 30 presentations, right? And out of those 30 presentations, if you sell just not even a third, let's say, what's a half of a third? I don't know. I can't do fractions. I'm good at selling. I'm not good at math. So 2/6, no, that'd be a third. I don't know. 1/12, I suppose. 1/6. 1/6. There we go. 1/6. 1/6 of the appointments would still you have a good chance of selling, right? And so out of there, that's still 6 sales in a week for 60 appointments. So It really all depends on what you want to do. Then when you run your appointments, all you're focusing on is the presentation part of it. You're focusing on one thing at a time. In fact, that's what focus stands for, is follow one course until successful, right? And as long as you do that, you're going to get better. Then as you start to get a little bit better, what I do is during those no-shows, now I'm using that time to just set more appointments. I'm filling in that white space in my calendar for the evening and for the next day, right? Because there's no limit of what we can make in this business. So here's the cool thing. Over the when I was on the cruise this last week for FFL, Brad Allen got up on stage. Now, obviously, when we start people out, we start with final expense. Then we move on to mortgage, right? Because now you can learn a different style of selling. You can sell term products more than wholesale or whole life products. Then we start to learn IULs. Then we start to learn annuities. And if you want to get licensed in Medicare, you can do that as well. But there's no limit of what we can do here. And it's all a la carte. Do whatever you want to do, right? But annuities is the big ticket items. And Brad Allen got up on stage. Sean Mike was interviewing him, and he said, Brad, about how much money in annuities have you sold this year? And he said, about 12 million. That's not what he got paid, but that's what he sold, okay, in annuities. And then he asked the question that everybody was wondering, how much money have you made off of those annuities? His answer was about 800,000. That's on annuities alone. Where does he get all of his appointments? From final expense and mortgage leads that he's already sold a final expense policy to or a mortgage protection policy. All he's doing, he's not costing anybody, he's not costing the client any more money. In fact, he's helping the client make more money because he's taking that risk money that could lose money and putting it into a vehicle that will never lose money again, right? So the whole purpose is the whole purpose of me saying that is because this is $1 million business, guys. Brad Allen started 6 years ago in this business, and he worked for another practice company, and he did that for about 6 months and never sold a thing in his life. He was scared to sell anything. Came over to Family First Life, and obviously he still wanted to learn how to sell. And finally, he gets out and starts selling. He came up the same way, started selling final expense, mortgage, IULs, now annuities. He's been in the business now for 6 years. And now he's making over millions of dollars a year. Okay. Now, this isn't for everybody. Disclaimer, you may not make $1 million, right? I just got to say that because this is going to be put out there, right? And I don't know exactly what Brad Allen has made, but the point is if you treat this business like $1 million business and learn and focus and take 5 good years and sacrifice some extra time to learn this business, you can literally change your life. And when you change your life, you change your family's life. And when you change your family's life, you change your friend's life because you hang out with new successful friends. And now you can take care of those friends that need a little bit more help because you have a little bit more to do that. And then you're also helping out your community as well, because the more money you have, the more choices you have, right? So let's see, we got 5 more minutes. We got time for another role play. Who wants to do another role play? Ryan, you got your hand up. Do you have another question?
No, I didn't know it was still up, but I would do a role play as a customer, not knowing anything about life insurance. If you want to do run the sales game.
Okay. Who wants to be the agent?
Haley.
Absolutely not. Call me out like that.
Who would be the agent, Haley?
Not quite.
Not quite. Okay. I'll be the agent. All right, Ryan. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Ryan. This is Sean. I'm just giving you a call back regarding that form that was filled out online. This is in regards to the final expense and burial programs that are going on statewide right now. I got your date of birth here as 9/16/1975. Is that you?
Yeah, it is. But I haven't filled something out in a long time.
Okay, could have been a wife or something. Most people fill these out because they want to make sure that they don't leave a financial burden to a loved one for a burial or a cremation. Which one were you guys planning on doing?
Just honestly, I think life insurance in general, we just really don't have anything.
You don't have anything? Okay.
No, I've got 4 kids and nothing planned right now. I'm young.
No, I appreciate that. That's probably why she filled it out for you guys. Want to make sure you guys get protected. Don't leave a financial burden to a loved one. Do me a favor, grab a pen and paper and we'll just run through this real quick.
Okay.
Okay. So are you guys planning on being buried or cremated?
I don't know that we've even decided that, but we're open to either. Probably cremated, less expense for the kids.
Okay. Well, if you haven't decided, normally a burial costs anywhere from 10 to 15,000. A cremation is usually about 5,000. So we're just going to mark down about 15,000 just in case that you would need for a death benefit. And if you do decide to get cremated, then the extra benefit can go to some final expenses, that kind of thing. Okay. Now, do you have any, let me ask you this. Do you have a mortgage?
Yeah, about 209,000 left on it.
209,000. Okay.
Mhm.
And then I got that you're 48 years old, right, Ryan?
No, not yet.
Okay. So I got your birthday is 9/16/75.
Yeah.
Okay. So just say you're 48.
Yeah, I'm 48.
All right. That's actually my birthday. But anyways, okay. So you got a mortgage. How much is your mortgage?
I think we owe about 209 left on it.
209. Okay. And you guys don't have any type of a life insurance product in place right now, right?
No, nope. Had it with my old job, but not there anymore. So no longer have coverage.
Okay. Well, what we can do is, what happens if you were to pass away and you lose, or what happens if you were to pass away and you get hurt, sick, or injured and can't go to work, you lose that income. Do you have anything in place that would offset the mortgage?
No, we really don't.
Okay. Well, we might want to take a look at something that would cover that mortgage, so that if something happens to you, that your wife doesn't have to worry about having to pay the mortgage out of her income. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay. As you know, or may not know, these types of policies you just can't go out and buy. So you have to qualify for them. So what I'm going to do is take about 5 minutes, ask you some finance questions, ask you some medical questions. From there, I'm going to have a good idea of which carrier may qualify you. Then what we need to do is get you in front of the carrier, because they need to think about you, right? They're the ones writing the big fat check if something were to happen to you. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is just submit a simple request to that carrier. Now, in that request, they're going to ask for a couple of pieces of information that by law they kind of need to ask for. One of them, it's like going to the car dealership buying a brand new car. One of them is a social security number. They use that to verify who you say you are, that you're not taking out insurance in somebody else's name, committing insurance fraud. That's not you, is it, Ryan?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. The other thing that they're going to ask for is a banking institution or a credit union to be on file, like an account number, a routing number. If you are approved, no money comes out today, but if you are approved, then at that point in time, they'll take that first payment. And then here's the best part. Then you're approved, fully covered without having to pee in a cup, do a blood draw, or a medical exam. Pretty cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions on that so far?
Well, you talked about covering the mortgage and you talked about the 15,000 in burial. So there's 2 different policies. And then the other thing is you said the carrier, but who are you? If you're not the carrier, can I just talk to them directly?
You have to be an agent to talk to them. Now, normally, side note here, before I were to get in all of that, I would send over my credentials before that. I would send them a link to a website that has a picture of me. It has all of my state licenses on there, tells them what I do, has a picture of all the carriers on there. I just didn't go through that real quick because, we're doing a role play. But that's what I would do
And
in reality.
on that one call close, you're able to get that in on that,
that
first call, or does that?
That's the first thing that I do. So normally the first thing that I would do is just say, hey, you got an email address?
Okay. Gotcha.
What's your best email address? Or I'm going to text you a link right now. Is this your cell phone? You can email it, you can text them it, and then have them open it up and then walk them through that website. And then whatever the state they're in, because you're only calling states you're licensed in, right?
Sure.
So you're just going to have them click on that state. Your license pops up. They'll see it. Now you just built all the credibility in the world. And a lot of times what I'll say is, you see all those other states right there? Yeah. Well, every single one of those states did a background check on me and fingerprinted me. I had to send fingerprints into them. So every single one of them has a background check on me and found out that I am scot-free. No felonies. And then I'll just kind of move on down the road and show them the carriers and let them know I'm partnered with about 30 plus A-rated carriers nationwide. So what that allows me to do for you is customize something that best fits your situation, your needs, but most importantly, fits your budget, right? Because the reality of it is what is everybody's biggest fear when you're selling life insurance? Everybody wants life insurance, but what is everybody's biggest fear?
Making the payment.
Exactly. Nobody wants to pay for it. If it was free, every single person would sign up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest thing that they want to know is how much is it going to cost, right? And so by you telling them that you're going to customize something that best fits their situation, their needs, but most importantly fits their budget, it's knocking down a huge wall right there, right? Because the reality of it is we can fit it in anybody's budget, right? So then I'll go through the health questions. I'll determine what they qualify for. Then I will go right into the policy and I'll say, okay, I'm going to recommend. I don't say I have this, I have this, I have this. I'm the doctor, right? I'm the only licensed agent on the phone or in person. And so are you. If you went into the doctor's office with a stomach ache, and you sat there and the doctor came back and said, okay, I think it's this, but it might be this. We can do this, or we can do this, or we can do this. Well, actually, we could probably do this or this or this. You're probably going to look at that doctor and say, Doc, aren't you supposed to tell me exactly what I'm supposed to be doing? No, we don't do that. So we're going to go into it. We're going to recommend, okay, I recommend this company that we call America or Mutual of Omaha. They've been around for over 100 years. They're not going anywhere. And then tell them the process of how it works, right? I'm going to start the application. I'm going to ask you. And here's the reality. Most people have kids on here, right? If it's 8:00 at night and their bedtime is 8:00 and it's 8:00 and you say, okay, it's time to go to bed. Oh man, I don't want to go to bed, blah, 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 blah. They're going crazy, right? But if their bedtime's 8:00 and 7:00 rolls around and you're like, okay, kids, in 1 hour, you're going to go to bed. 7:30 rolls around. Okay, half an hour, you're going to go to bed, go brush your teeth, go wash your face, do whatever, go take a shower. And then all of a sudden 15 minutes goes by and you're like, okay, in 15 minutes, it's time for bed. And all of a sudden now it's 8:00 and it's like, okay, kids, time to go to bed. All right. And they'll get up and no problem. Everybody is the same way. Nobody likes surprises, especially when it comes to money. So if we tell them the process and lead them down the path of what's going to happen, by the time you get to that thing that they're going to, that they know is going to happen already, it's not a big deal. Right. And so by me telling them, I'm going to need your social security number, I'm going to need your driver's license, I'm going to need your banking institution on file. When I get to that, 9 times out of 10, it's not a big deal. Really, the only people that have a big deal about it are the people that don't have the money. And they're too afraid to tell you, I don't have the money. So a lot of times they'll just hang up on you. You know, and it kind of sucks, but that's just the way, that's the way the game is played. Right.
Mhm.
So, and then you just call them back later on down the road, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, hey, we talked a little bit ago. I still got your application saved. I don't want to be saving this personal information in the application. So are you okay if we just knock the rest of this out right now? Oh yeah, sure. No problem. They forgot about everything that happened before. They forgot they even hung up on you. Probably because they're used to hanging up on everybody, right? I don't know. So yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Any other
Sure.
questions?
No, Sean, this is one of the best calls you've ever done. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Jacob, for jumping on with us.
Absolutely, man. It's been awesome.
All right.